their 2 games. The Sonics winning here last November, and that for the Bulls only their 2nd loss of the season. The officials, Hugh Evans, Ron Alessiak, and Scott Foster, as we get ready for the first meeting of the regular season between the 2 finalists from a year ago.
And Coach Phil Jackson of the Bulls telling us earlier today he thinks this Sonics team has lost some of their hard edge, the one they had last year with Irvin Johnson as a starter for 18 minutes. Vincent Askew coming off the bench as a good, solid defender. Most important of all, however, they missed Nate McMillan, who was still on this team and due to come back after the All-Star break. But if George Karl could wish for one thing today, is have his team come out and rebound the basketball. He feels everything else will fall into line. The Sonics have been struggling in that area.
Yes, that has been a major problem. They have been out-rebounded 20 times thus far this season. Jim McElvain did a good job last week against Shaquille O'Neal. He and Terry Cummings combining, although the Lakers won the ball game. Here's Pippen off a set play, taking the beautiful lead from Kukoc.
Oh, and as a coach, you must hate that play more than anything else in the world. On the opening tip, you don't mind if they come down and score in the half court, but don't give an easy lay-in on the opening tip.
Ron Harper, good defensive player, opening up against Gary Payton. Here's Sean Kemp. The tip missed by McElvain.
And there you saw the matchup, Luke Longley on Kemp, the bigger man. That's the way they started the finals last year.
And Kukoc not able to hit. Comes Hawkins. Shrimp, played by Jordan.
And Seattle wants to get as many of those as they can. They're hard to do against Chicago because the Bulls rarely make mistakes. And Phil Jackson wants to talk about it right off the bat. They just don't give up transition baskets like that unless they make a turnover high out on the floor, which that was not. Well, on the opening tip, defensively, you want to be between your man and the basket. And right off the bat, an easy tip to Tony Kukoc, and Sean Kemp falls asleep watching the basketball, and that enables Scottie Pippen to get behind him. And then just off a normal missed shot, but the guards for Seattle, this is what they have to do, rebound the ball or help the big guys do it. An easy rebound and just slow transition on the part of the Chicago Bulls, something you rarely see from that club.
So 47 seconds in, Phil Jackson takes a 20-second timeout. Bulls and Sonics tied at 2. We're just getting started. Here's Pippen for 3. Longley pops it out, and Kukoc passed on the shot. But a 3-second violation called on Longley.
Well, in the initial play, we saw the matchup. Gary Payton fronting Jordan inside. The Bulls weren't patient enough to get it in there. Forced not a great shot by Pippen, but Jordan still hustled to keep that ball alive.
Sonics come off a win over the Bullets here on Friday night. They actually escaped with a 2-point win. They shot only 42% from the field. And Pippen knocked it away. Last touch by Kemp.
Good recognition, however, by the Sonics, reading the switch. Kemp bearing down on Pippen inside, putting his head, heading right for the rim, but just a little bit over-anxious on the play, kicking it out of bounds.
Kukoc off the fake, through the foul. Foul committed by Jim McElvain.
A little two-man game developing over on the left side with Schrempf and Kemp. They get the switch that they want. As good a defender as Scottie Pippen is, he doesn't want to be caught too often inside with the strong, explosive Sean Kemp. Got away, though, with a good strip of the ball on that play.
Tony Kukoc piling up the assists as of late. 11 against Vancouver earlier in the week. Career high 13 against Toronto last Saturday.
I felt in last year's finals the Sonics didn't do enough to exploit his individual defensive weaknesses when they had the opportunity. In this start, he's going to be watching Jim McElvain, and that's a guy the Sonics just do not go to in the offensive end.
Here's Payton. Air ball. Hawkins on the recovery. And Payton for 3. Seattle with a 5-3 lead. Jordan by McElvain. Payton able to save that pass. Payton out guarded by Jordan, then picked off by Schrempp. Jordan going for the steal. Schrempp and the baseline closed. And that pass carried out of bounds.
Well, that's the kind of team defense that you have to get on that last sequence with Jordan posting up Payton. Gary worked hard, forced him out a little bit. Michael had to work so hard, I don't think he ever saw Jim McElvain coming. McElvain is a good shot blocker and read that play beautifully.
The Chicago Bulls Friday night in San Jose beat Golden State handily 115-92. That was a 35-8 score after one. Longley off the good setup from Kukoc is fouled by McElvain, and that's 2 on Jim McElvain.
So many of the teams in the league let Michael catch the ball in the post and play behind him. That is death. Although Payton kind of took himself out of that play, he was working to get around on Jordan and forced Michael out a little bit further than he wanted to be in a post-up situation, and that enabled McElvain to get into the play.
Here's Jordan. Well, Michael missing on his first 2 shot attempts. The first was blocked. Kemp down deep. And it was an offensive foul. A charge on Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey doesn't like it, but the Bulls doing a good job in team defense of plugging the lane. Scottie Pippen read it perfectly, stepped in there, took the bump, and of course he flopped.
Yes. 3 minutes, 10 seconds gone by. It's the Sonics 5 and the Bulls 3. Pippen, yes, and the game is tied at 5. Pippen with 4 of Chicago's 5 points. Schrempp off a double team. He came up with air. Here's Pippen going behind the back, and he lost it. Oh, and off the scramble. Last touch by Seattle as Hawkins last touch by Chicago.
Well, two Seattle players actually touched that ball and knock it out of bounds. I'm surprised that Ron Olesiak is giving the ball to the Sonics there, but that still looks like Hersey Hawkins to me. He knocked that ball out of bounds, and the Bulls bench complaining, but Olesiak stays with his call.
Payton banking Hopper. Schremp's pass deflected, handled by Hawkins. And here's Hawkins. Sonics with a 7-5 lead. For Hersey Hawkins hitting on his first shot attempt. His scoring has been down. He's averaging 12 per game. Hopper with the open 3. Kemp with the rebound. He had Hawkins breaking. Wisely held back because the Bulls did recover. Now Payton using the pick from Schrempp. Yes. Gary Payton hitting from the right corner for a 3, hitting from the left corner for a 2, and the Sonics lead 9-5.
You can sense the urgency in the game of the Sonics, pushing the ball up the floor at every opportunity, putting pressure on the Bulls defense.
Here's Kukoc. Yes, Tony Kukoc with his first field goal. For Kukoc a 3, and the Sonic lead is now 1. Back in. 5 minutes gone by in the first. Payton feeling for Hopper and able to spin for the open shot. Looked like he didn't want to take the shot.
Well, Harper's doing a good job of forcing Payton down to the baseline, and Payton keeps looking at the defender while he's either trying to shoot or pass.
Oh, beautiful play. Jordan's pass for Longley, and then Luke was able to get it back. The pass deflected away from Longley, and the Bulls take a 1-point lead. Schrempp looking inside. Kemp again double teamed, threw it away. Hopper leads a 3-on-2. Hopper pitches out to Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan with his first field goal. The Bulls with a 12-9 advantage.
Well, that was set up on the turnover. The Bulls are a good defensive team. They do not like the double team, but they can afford to use Kukoc as a double teamer because McElvain just does not look to crash to the basket or get open for shots.
Sam Perkins getting set to check in for the Sonics, and a holding foul called on Hopper.
Gary Payton has to be extremely aggressive offensively whenever he has Jordan on him to make him work. Does a nice move of shaking loose from Jordan to knock down that corner jumper. And here Ron Harper keeping his head up, seeing the whole play, penetrates the lane, kicks out to Jordan for the open shot.
7-0 run by Chicago. And there's Sam Perkins, 13-year man out of North Carolina, about to check in for the first time for the Sonics. Sam, a teammate of Michael Jordan's on the 1982 North Carolina Tar Heels. We asked Sam, what was it like playing with Michael?
He played with me at North Carolina, and because I was there first. And but no, I didn't have an inclination this would take place with him. He just shot out, got into the league, had some indifferences as a rookie with some veteran people because of the fact they thought he was a hot dog or this young, you know, Quicksilver type of player. And next thing you know, he came into his own, and those guys now, you know, are shaking at the knees every time they have to guard him.
He played with me, said Sam Perkins. Should be pointed out that Michael Jordan told us earlier Sam was always a jokester.
As you can see, Sam doesn't get too excited about too many things. He's a little concerned in the three-point shootout. He might not get 25 shots off in a minute. He does at a slow release.
He has that sleepy look. They call him Mr. Smooth, and has been hitting the three with great accuracy this season. Michael Jordan on the miss by Hersey Hawkins, and then fires down. Here's Pippen putting moves on Schrempf. 7-0 run by the Bulls. With 5.5 to go in this first quarter, they lead the Sonics 12-9. Now Schrempf posting up, had it poked away by Pippen. Still 10 on the shot clock. Schrempf and Jordan able to tip it to Harper. The Bulls have remained the same following the timeout. Harper and Jordan in the backcourt. Longley with Kukoc and Pippen up front. Kukoc going at Perkins off balance. And a foul call. It is a loose ball foul on Shawn Kemp.
Now, George Karl would usually like to wait a little bit longer to bring Sam Perkins into the game, but with Kukoc guarding McIlvain and not really guarding him, looking to help out on people, in particular Shawn Kemp, at least with Sam Perkins in there, you have to honor his perimeter shot.
And here's Jordan. Well, that is his second field goal. Michael doing it with the jump shot. We talked about that yesterday with George Karl. Ahmad touched on that earlier. Although that was not necessarily a negative statement. Foul on Luke Longley using the knee. Jordan is amazing in that here's a guy's going to be, what, 34 on February the 17th, and his game is still evolving. Is that possible?
No question, and he keeps working on his body physically. Detlef Schrempf finds one from the outside. But, you know, it's a compliment to Michael that he is reading the way teams are playing and taking what is there, and he'll go look for contact when he has to. When his outside shot is off, or if it's a close game, he knows how to get fired.
What a move by Jordan. Well, he took it right at Gary Payton, able to spin baseline, and the Bulls now lead 16-11. Going behind the back, try to feed the Schrempf, and the reach-in is called on Harper. That's the second foul committed by Ron Harper.
Now, it's going to be very physical when these two are in the post. Actually, Michael used that arm bar of Gary Payton as a post to lean on it, to feel it, and then spin off it as Gary Payton, an outstanding defender, caught frozen on the play. The beautiful spin move.
Harper sitting down. Has checked in for the first time. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first. Kukoc slapping it away from Perkins. Bulls with a host of deflections in this first quarter. The alley-oop slightly off. Good idea, was not executed. Schrempf and feeling the pressure from Pippen, not able to hit. He thought he was fouled. And you can hear the reaction from the Seattle crowd. Jordan putting moves on Kemp. And hits. Michael Jordan picked up on the switch by Sean Kemp. And is extended to an 18-11 Bulls lead. 8 consecutive points by Jordan. And here's Schmidt off the mark on that three-point attempt.
And the Sonics have hit a valley with their half-court offense, a problem for them all season long, even last year when they went to the finals. Sometimes their execution is just very, very careless, and sometimes their ball handling, as the Bulls have knocked a lot of balls loose.
Crowd wanted to travel on Kukoc. 13-2 run by the Bulls. Nice pass from Kukoc to Brown. And the Bulls out executing the Sonics. Lead at 20-11. 2.5 remaining in the first. Hawkins fouled by Longley.
Well, Scottie Pippen tried to throw an alley-oop pass, unhappy that he didn't make it, but hustled back and played 2 people on the play and probably fouled Schrempf on the play, but knocked that ball loose, got the benefit of the call. Jordan is thinking drive on Kemp, try to draw a foul. Excellent defense by Sean, still got the shot off.
Timeout is taken, 2:29 remaining in the first.
Ahmad Rashad back at Key Arena, and we've been talking about Michael Jordan all of a sudden becoming a jump shooter. And this is what George Karl had to say about Michael Jordan becoming that jump shooter. Like he's trying to protect himself. And when I asked Michael about that, he said, you know what? I keep getting double teamed, triple teamed. I don't find the lanes anymore. So the only obvious thing that I can do is go to my jump shot. He said it's like in football terminology. And Matt, you hit it right on the head. He said, I'm taking what they give me. You get 2 points for whatever I shoot from the outside. You get 2 points for a dunk.
I tell you, Matt, that's rare praise from the managing editor of Inside Stuff, Ahmad Rashad. I mean, that is...
But I've been remarking how astute Ahmad has been.
Let's not get crazy.
Astute.
I think Ahmad and Matt spending too much time in the Pacific Northwest. You were here, what, a week and a half preparing for this game?
You need to get ready. You got to get a feel for the particular area that you're in.
Bulls now lead 20-12, 2:29 remaining in this opening quarter. Earlier today on NBC, the Orlando Magic defeated the Houston Rockets without Charles Barkley, sitting it out with the ankle problem, 103-90. Love cycling 29 points to lead Orlando. And at Madison Square Garden in New York, the Charlotte Hornets over the New York Knicks, 99-93, led by the red-hot Glenn Rice, who had 40 points. The Knick home win streak was stopped at 15. An air ball thrown up by Jordan, who is hearing it from the crowd.
Now, Michael kind of looked at the referee as if Kemp hit him, but not in such a way that he really hit him. And Michael, I think, just a little disappointed with himself. When you have Kemp on your one-on-one and you have quickness like Michael, you got to take it to the hole.
David Wingate just checked in, fires the 3. Jason Caffey on the floor for the first time for Chicago, along with Dickie Simpkins. And Jordan comes up short, and it's swept out of bounds. The officials checking the call. Last touch by Sean Kemp, says the outside official, Hugh Evans.
Good call by Hugh Evans, as it appeared Sean got it. Sean is going to have to get himself involved at the offensive end, as he has been quiet, and the Bulls have done a good job of quick trapping him to make him give up the ball. He's got to find other ways, get to the offensive glass.
Phil Jackson now has Brown and Jordan in the backcourt with Kukoc, Caffey, and Simpkins up front. Dennis Rodman, of course, still serving the suspension. Jordan with the turnaround, goes to the spin. So Michael now 5 of 9. He has 10 points. Rodman still in the midst of that 11-game suspension. He has now missed the past 8 games coming into today. The Bulls have won 7 of those 8. Poor shooting here by Seattle. 5 of 16 from the field. Now to 1 minute left in the first. Backdoor pass, Kukoc for Caffey. Jason Caffey has showing some signs as of late, playing much better, getting the opportunity in the absence of Rodman. Caffey, a second-year player out of Alabama, first-round draft pick last year.
Well, I said Sean Kemp had to get involved. He did not have that shot in mind. I don't think George Karl did either, but you can see the frustration by Kemp.
Here is oh! And now Wingate on the open floor. Couldn't handle that pass. Would have had a 2-on-1. And it's picked off. Simpkins handling that bad pass.
A rare opportunity for Simpkins to get meaningful playing time this early in the ballgame. Normally it would be Bill Wedding, but there's a 10-second violation.
Well, that's when you rarely see they did not cross the midcourt line on the required 10 seconds.
I glanced at the Chicago bench. Steve Kerr, sitting at the end, saw what Randy was doing, taking his time, knowing it was a one-shot situation, but he also saw the clock and had a feeling it was going to be very close. He was up waving to Randy, just get it over, but just a little mental error there by Randy Brown.
Greg Elo has come on for the first time. Elo getting some playing time as of late. Was a forgotten man for a while. Sonics holding for a final shot. Gary Payton working it down. 5 seconds remaining as Payton is over the head. Bulls now lead 24-15. 4 3/10 seconds to go in the first quarter. All right, here's Jordan. Across the midcourt line. Michael Jordan from midcourt. Oh, the Bulls enjoying that one. That was beyond area code range for 3 for Jordan.
Michael almost taking his time, knowing that he wanted to get just to a spot where he could be able to shoot a jump shot and still get it to the rim. And he went up and shot that one with ease from such an amazing distance. I think George Karl would have rather seen him drive to the basket than take that jump shot.
I think Michael's thinking, let's see, I'm not eluding contact here, am I? The Bulls 27 and the Sonics 15 after 1.
Well, the matchup that everybody wants to see when the Chicago Bulls and Seattle Sonics get together, Michael Jordan and Gary Payton. Michael goes to work inside as much as possible against Payton. Beautiful spin move. The three-pointer to beat the buzzer for his 13th point of the first quarter, as Michael, I think, likes to be guarded by Gary Payton. Here he goes to work on Hersey Hawkins, where he really feels he has that height advantage for the little turnaround jumper to the baseline. So 7 against Payton and 2 against Hersey, Detlef Schrempf, and 2 against other people, as Michael Jordan off to a fantastic start.
He has hit 6 of 10 from the field for his 13 points. He will get a rest at the start of the second quarter. Steve Kerr has come on, as has Bill Wennington. Scottie Pippen checking back in. 22-6 run by Chicago for this 12-point lead. Foul is called away from the ball, holding foul against Chicago. It is on Campy. Marv Albert with Matt Dukas and Ahmad Rashad from Key Arena in Seattle. Capacity crowd 17,000 on hand. Sean Kemp has been very quiet. And it's a 3-second violation. 7th turnover committed by the Sonics. 2 games back against Golden State. Sean Kemp benched at the start of the game. Did not start because Kemp was late notifying the team that he'd be late for a practice. He's actually having a cut on his right hand examined by a physician. Also fined an unspecified sum. But George Karl very upset about the casualness, and he's trying to put an end to it. Off the steal, Wingate for Payton. The pass intended for Kemp, and again a Chicago deflection to break it up. Now they'll jump it up. As Kemp ties it up with Caffey. Well, Asteroid is NBC's movie event of the month of February, but you can play the game right now live online. Asteroid Impact. Check it out at www.nbc.com. And the tip controlled by the Sonics.
Actually, Sean Kemp got away with a reaching grab on Steve Kerr there. Sean Kemp has to be very careful now because he's so foul prone. And here, another turnover. And that's not really Gary Payton's fault, and he is showing his disgust. You have to protect the passer, and I'm talking about Sean Kemp there. Even though it was not a good pass, it was a floater. Possession of the basketball is most important. Get that first.
Kemp has not scored. He has turned it over 3 times. Brown and Kerr in the backcourt. Weddington with Pippen and Caffey up front. Now Pippen posting up on Payton. Goes up short. Elo faking on the 1 and 2 by Brown.
Sean Kemp very upset with the official on that last sequence at the offensive end. He felt that Caffey got away with too much there. You see that left arm of Caffey first put in there, but then actually that arm is being held by Sean Kemp there, and by holding that kept him from protecting the passer Payton and coming out and at least catching the ball. Is a very unproductive 14 minutes so far for Sean Kemp.
Minute and a half gone by. Second quarter, another Sonic turnover. A very shaky performance by Seattle here in the first half. They doubled up on Kerr, recovered by Caffey, and Pippen able to draw the foul. Well, I'll tell you, the Sonics would love to be able to take advantage of these minutes with both Jordan and Kukoc on the bench. Scottie Pippen is on the floor right here. He was fouled by Detlef Schrempf, and Pippen will go to the line.
And also should have had an advantage with Bill Wennington in there, primarily to guard Sam Perkins, but the time that Kemp got the ball inside, it came down to double team, but Kemp didn't read it and find the open shooter. Here's Scottie Pippen. This is the word around the league on Scottie Pippen, just some of the things that he does. He, in effect, is the point guard for this team. Outstanding in the open floor, unselfish, likes to give the ball up, and, of course, a perennial member of the all-defensive team.
And Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, starters in the All-Star game in Cleveland. Sunday night, a game you will see right here on NBC. Sonics with 2 starters, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. Payton from deep. Rebounded by Caffey.
But at least the Sonics got a good shot by going inside and back out. They can't live on those jump shots. They have to get some kind of continuity going at the offensive end.
Italy attempt by Wennington and a loose ball foul on the Bulls. It is on Caffey, his second, leading to a timeout. Phil Jackson did not like that last call. Back in Seattle moments ago, Phil Jackson upset with the foul call on Jason Caffey. Let's listen in.
Well, of course he was playing the ball, but from Phil's angle, he could not see that Caffey almost knocked Craig Elo out of the building as he ran up his back.
Here is Schrempf. Yes.
I was just going to say, the Sonics have to get more things going in the middle of the floor instead of just going to the sideline, running pick and roll, just feed the post, because the Bulls defense is just settling in on those wing plays.
So the Bulls now lead by a nice setup for Wennington. It counts and the foul. Bill Wennington to the free throw line.
And there's Scottie Pippen just beating Schrempf off the dribble, and once he does that, the defense has to collapse and help, as Terry Cummings had to find the ball handler and try to stop him. And Bill Wennington does a terrific job of finding those open seams, whether it be for the jump shot or to the basket for the lay-in.
Three-point play. The Wennington Wingate on the foul. So Terry Cummings has checked in for the first time. The Bulls now lead 32-17. Michael Jordan is back. Here's Wingate shooting over Jordan. Followed a shot nicely, but it was a brick.
He knew it was off as soon as it left his hands. I don't think he thought it was going to go that far, however.
And Jordan run into by Elo. Craig Elo over the years has certainly had his ups and downs in defending against Michael Jordan.
Well, he has been on more posters and in more highlight reels of Michael Jordan hitting big shots against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yet Craig Elo works very hard and plays smart defense against Michael. Just not that effective.
Who has been?
Good point.
Open shot for James. Wingate missed the tip. And last touched by Seattle. Jason Caffey has just checked out. Man, you might say, here in Seattle, it's time for the Bulls to take a Caffey break. I'm sorry.
You might say that.
Timeout has been called. 8.5 remaining in this first half. I was waiting for Caffey to check out. This is game number 9 of the Dennis Rodman suspension for kicking the cameraman several weeks ago. No definitive word on when Rodman will be able to return. We talk about Rodman's situation with Chicago coach Phil Jackson.
You know, it's so surreal, a lot of the events that happen, that it's not in context of the game. It's in context of something else. It's not upbraiding the coach or towel throwing or incidents where he's in the face of his teammates, or there's none of that stuff. It's things that are bizarre, and it's bizarre behavior, and those things, from that standpoint, are not predictable.
And the absence of Rodman has had to make Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen work just that much more, as Michael Jordan works beautifully on that left wing. Not that they're not capable of it, and they read each game as it comes along. If it's more scoring, they do that. If it's more rebounding, they will do that. They've handled it beautifully. 15 points for Jordan. And the Bulls have doubled up on the score against the Sonics. They lead 34-17. Shot clock running down, rejected by Pippen. Michael Jordan has been feeling it with that jump shot. I'm sure he remembers very well what George Karl said about it, but this is Michael Jordan's game. He's not going to change it because somebody said something about it, in particular somebody from North Carolina. He's going to play his game. George Karl right now not happy with the offensive group that he had out on the floor. Has brought some scoring punch in along with Eric Snow, who has replaced Gary Payton. We asked Michael earlier, will there be a late game visit in the direction of George Karl along the lines of the scenario in Chicago after Cummings way off, and we get a whistle. It would have been a 24-second violation, but a foul charged against the Bulls. How about Seattle now? 7 of 25 from the field. Pippen is called for that foul. Jeff Van Gundy made the comment a couple of weeks back, actually several weeks ago, and then it was revived in the Chicago media right before the Knicks played the Bulls, that Michael Jordan tends to befriend players around the NBA, and he said he sometimes cons players. And actually, Jeff Van Gundy had said many favorable things concerning Jordan's game, but there were things in there that Jordan used to motivate himself. Jordan said Jeff Van Gundy was looking to motivate the Knicks because of some friendships that had gone back over the years, and he felt that it had affected the Knicks and how they play against Jordan. Michael Jordan with 17 points. He is just eating up the Sonics in this first half. 36-17 the score. And at the end of the game, Jordan had some remarks in the direction of Van Gundy, who had ignored it. A continuing saga. Nice move. It counts, and the foul. Eric Snow, the second-year player from Michigan State, who had come on just a moment ago, able to hit. Even though the Bulls played back-to-back games on Thursday and Friday, Michael Jordan is well rested, as they had an easy one against Golden State on Friday night as they blew away the Warriors very quickly. And Michael looks well rested, looks like his body is alive, and that jumper is very, very smooth. And Eric Snow seeking the three-point play. Eric Snow, a second-round draft pick of Milwaukee, and then traded to Seattle last season. The Bulls 36 and the Sonics 20. Brown and Jordan at the guards. Longley, Pippen, Kukoc up front. Jordan pushing it back out. Brown, who's improved that outside touch. Cummings with the rebound. And Snow pushing it down. Cummings. Sonics in the midst of a weave
Not able to get much going. Then Cummings takes it to the basket and draws the foul. It's called on Longley.
A read that actually the offense collapsed as it appeared all 10 players were in the lane. Absolutely no spacing at all on the part of the Sonics, as Terry Cummings did a wise play right there. Knew he was in some trouble. Not really putting up a good shot, but his intent and purpose there was to draw the foul, and he got it from Luke Longley.
35-year-old Terry Cummings. He was the NBA's Rookie of the Year back in 1983. Signed as a free agent 3 weeks ago. Luke Longley departs after picking up his third foul. Bill Wennington returns. Terry Cummings signing for the NBA minimum wage for the rest of the season. Missing on both free throws. George Karl has to be extremely disappointed. Pointing to this game for weeks. And to get this kind of performance in the first half against the Bulls, a host of turnovers, bad shooting, invisible half for Sean Kemp, and a holding foul. Foul on Kemp. That is his second. Kemp is still scoreless.
If you remember back in the finals in games 1 and 2 last year, Sean Kemp got off to a fantastic start, mainly because the Bulls were playing him with single coverage and stopping the three-point shooting of everybody else. Every time he's touched the ball inside today, he has been doubled quickly, and he hasn't handled it well.
Jordan picked up by the double team, and as Bill Wennington made his move, he was hacked by Terry Cummings. First on Cummings. Well, next Sunday, the NBA's mid-season celebration will take place. The All-Star Game in prime time right here on NBC, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss a very special halftime as the NBA will celebrate its 50th season. That's the All-Star Game next Sunday, 6 o'clock in the East, 3 o'clock Pacific, right here on NBC.
The only way Sean Kemp is going to get it going, as he continues to argue with the referees and whine on every call, is work harder to get good position, take the double team, and then find an open shot for a Shrimp, for a Hawkins, maybe a three-pointer, and that will loosen up the defense for him. And even if they take a three-pointer, miss it, Kemp should get back there and climb on the board.
And here's pressure by the Bulls. Sonics have no problem. His first field goal.
Well, that should get him going, as the Bulls normally show that as a token type of defense, but the Sonics were ready for it and attacked it nicely.
Jordan lost it. Snow fires down. Cummings with the save. And the foul called on Wennington. Oh, Kemp didn't like the hard foul from Wennington.
Well, the Sonics trying to get back into this game any way they can, and what they do best is get out and run in the open floor. That pass too long, but good communication there, letting Cummings go for the ball rather than two players go for it. But Hawkins a little bit slow in gathering and getting in the air. Wennington wanting to make sure, but then you saw the grab of the hand there by Sean Kemp as he continues to show his frustration. I mean, and even though Sean denies the fact that the contract situation he's involved in, where he is signed for many more years, a number of players on his team making a great deal more money than him, saying that he's beyond it, it's past him, it doesn't bother him, it bothers him.
As a result, we were talking about this yesterday with George Karl, there have been some inconsistent performances. It's still been an all-star season for Sean Kemp, but this club has been on a roller coaster despite the fact that they are 32-13. But Detlef Schrempf was saying the Sonics may not be as focused as they were last year. Not for every game, not for 48 minutes. He said maybe we're not as hungry. Recaptured by Jordan, and he was fouled. Another sloppy play by Seattle.
Well, Michael is so good after another team gets the ball in their defensive end with the rebound or with whatever. But this time, just carelessness on the part of the Sonics as they didn't grab the ball first, but Michael also can reach in there and grab as he was triple teamed on the recovery and able to get that shot up and out of his hands to draw the foul.
And Michael Jordan on the line for the first time among the free throw leaders at 85%. Back to the subject of the troubles of the Sonics. Although they are 32-13, not playing at the top of the game, they have certainly missed Nate McMillan, a key player. He adds so much off the boards where the Sonics have been weak. He's been out with a muscle tear, hoping to return after the All-Star break. He's played only a handful of games. But this is a Sonic team that has dropped games to the Clippers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Hornets. They've lost every time they played their major rivals in the West. Twice to the Rockets, twice to the Jazz, and twice to the Lakers. So there are some troubles here as compared to last season.
When Nate McMillan came in games 4 and 5 of the finals here in this building, I don't think I've ever heard a louder building. He means so much to that team. And there you see what the Sonics have done against the other top teams in the league that they've played. And Seattle almost acts as if, well, don't worry, we'll get it going as the second half of the season comes and when the playoffs come. It's hard to turn that switch on and off.
And Hawkins hit from behind, again by Weddington. Percy Hawkins, one of the top foul shooters in the league at 84% at the line. He's 4 for 4 in this first half. 4:48 remaining in the half, and the Bulls now lead 40-25.
Both of these teams rely on their defense and rebounding. And we mentioned earlier, the Sonics are not a good rebounding team. And to try to run from that defense, get easy baskets, to take some of that pressure off your half-court offense. As good as the triangle offense can be for the Chicago Bulls, they don't want to rely on that time and time again. They want to go out and get some easy baskets. And the Sonics also want to do that as well because their half-court offense is very sluggish.
Now Jordan posting, putting the move, and draws the foul. So Gary Payton committing his first. Gary Payton among the league leaders in scoring and steals and assists. Quiet thus far in the first half. 3 of 8 from the field. This is what Michael Jordan has been facing this week. Mitch Richmond, Latrell Sprewell, Gary Payton, 3 of the best backcourt men in the NBA.
Well, that Golden State game in which it was 18-18 between Sprewell and Jordan, that game was over in about 6 minutes, and I think Latrell Sprewell, going to the All-Star game, missed his first 9 shots of that game as the people that were out there said that Michael was just all over him.
Kemp getting position on Caffey. And a foul call.
Well, one of the rare times that the Sonics have swung the ball from one side to the other. Little movement by Kemp, getting great position, 2 feet in the paint. Ball delivered on time, and Jason Caffey made the smart play by fouling him before he could get in the act of shooting. But they're in the bonus anyway, so he'll go to the line for 2.
Sean Kemp, a 76% free throw shooter, comes in averaging better than 21 per game.
Around the league, this is the word on the Sean Kemp. He likes to run that floor and get post position early. They have not done that this afternoon. Explosive around the hoop. He does turn it over quite a bit. He led the league last year in walking violation, and he will foul you. He averages over 4 a game in that department if you give him the chance.
The Bulls now lead by 13. Yes. Michael Jordan lighting up the Sonics here in the first half. He now has 22. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the half. This is the first of 2 regular season meetings between these 2 clubs. In the NBA Finals last year, you recall, the Bulls jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and then the Sonics came back strong with the 2 straight wins here at Key Arena. And the Bulls then wrapped it in Chicago in Game 6. Foul has been called.
A little option off the triangle offense, and everybody turns their back as Detlef Schrempf didn't even know where Michael was. Payton got picked off, and Steve Kerr, knowing that Michael has the hot hand, patiently waited for Michael to pop to the base. Last year in the finals when the series started out and Payton was guarding Scottie Pippen, and Scottie had a good game in there, and he said, you know, well, he's the defensive player of the year. You should be able to guard me at 6'7". I think Michael is thinking that same thing, that they have the respect that Gary Payton earned that honor, defensive player of the year, but Michael wants to show him who can score against him. And really, no one man can do a job on Michael when he's got it going.
Crowd trying to get the Sonics going. They're now down by 13 points. Simpkins trying to hand it off to Jordan. Perkins, played by Kukoc. Here's Kemp for Payton.
3 seconds, 3.
Perkins in mismatch, guarded by Kerr, draws the foul. Sam Perkins just shedding Steve Kerr, who comes up amused by the play.
Well, it was on the slow side and a little bit methodical, but Sam Perkins knew he had a little one and knew he had him in trouble, and all he had to do was get those arms under the defensive arm of Steve Kerr and draw that foul.
He had a little one. 3:17 remaining first half. Bulls by 13. Thank you, Bob. For the Chicago Bulls, this is game 4 of a 6-game, 9-day trip. They finish up in Portland and at LA against the Lakers. It has been a very impressive trip. Overall, they've won 6 in a row, 15 of their last 16 games. Sam Perkins with his first point of the day. Both clubs shooting well at the line. Seattle, though, from the field, 3 of 11 here in the second quarter, but they've hit the free throws, and they've cut the lead down to 11. Chicago at 1 point, led by 19. And again, the crowd urging on the Sonics. Shot clock at 6. Bad pass from Kukoc. 3-on-2, and Kemp lost it off his foot.
Tentative trip that time for the Chicago Bulls, just passing the ball around the perimeter. When they finally looked for Jordan, way too late, the turnover, and Shawn Kemp so anxious to get something going and get involved in this game and get into the scoring part of things, just carelessly losing that ball out of bounds.
And for Kemp, his 4th turnover first half. Jordan, double team by Payton, and Kemp goes to the crossover, trying to extend in midair, and got off a pretty good shot despite the pressure. Now Schrempf working on Kukoc. And Hawkins resets. Simpkins guarding Kemp. Now they double. Kukoc over. And another bad pass. Another turnover by Kemp. Whoa, that was close to a backcourt. Kerr from 3. Yes. From way downtown, Steve Kerr with his first field goal.
George Karl exasperated right now. Another double team on Kemp, throwing it into the teeth of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. That is death.
Coming up short and rebounds. Perkins from 3. Among the leaders in three-point shooting, getting on his first field goal attempt. The Bulls by 11. Jordan going backdoor to take the lead pass from Pippen.
Oh, this is what the Bulls were prepared for, with all the fronting of the post by Gary Payton. If they could swing the ball up top and then lob it up to the basket, they would get good shot opportunities. And even though that wasn't a good pass, Michael Jordan made him.
Well, Kerr tried to draw the foul. The official would not go for it. Leads to the uncontested drive by Payton. Bulls 48, Sonics 37. Jordan has half of Chicago's points. 24-point first half for Jordan. And a timeout called by Phil Jackson. It appeared that he did not want the timeout. Looked like one of his players called it, and Phil was puzzled.
A little miscommunication there between the players on the floor and Phil Jackson. But anytime there's a fronting of the post and that quick little jab step, which is what enabled Michael Jordan to bring, and rather than catching and trying to do too much with it, make sure he caught the ball first. As Gary Payton just waltzing through the lane there, as the Bulls are very small up front with Dickie Simpkins at the center position. But normally, as good as Payton is off the dribble, against Chicago, you don't get that kind of look.
Down to 54 seconds remaining in the half. Chicago has won 19 of their 23 road games. 4 straight, 6 of the last 7. They were beaten in Houston 3 weeks ago, while Seattle 18-5 here at home, and they have taken 12 of the last 13 in Seattle, losing here to the Lakers last Sunday afternoon.
Now, as well as Chicago has played in this first half, although it's been Michael Jordan doing half of the scoring, and that is not good for the Bulls. As much fun as it is to watch sometimes, Phil Jackson and the rest of the ball club would rather have more people involved, and I think Michael Jordan would rather have more people involved. But the Sonics only 11 down, as poorly as they played. If they can get this thing to 10 or under, they would be reasonably satisfied. Not totally satisfied by any means at the way they played, but only 10 down going into the second half.
Michael Jordan earlier this week created a stir by saying that he will play again next year, but since that statement was made, he pulled back slightly. We talked about this earlier with Michael.
It stands as year to year. I mean, I don't have a contract for next year. I look forward to hopefully winning a championship and then keeping everybody together and doing it again. That's always been my frame of mind. And I don't want to jump ahead of myself or jump ahead of the organization by saying I'll be back next year. I think that's something that they have to decide. And with me, I'm just going to take it year by year and feel myself. And Dennis don't have contracts for next year. So, I mean, for me to say I'll be back next year, it's kind of jumping ahead of everybody.
Once again, he will be a free agent. He currently has a 1-year deal that pays him a reported $30 million. I also asked him, could he see playing elsewhere, and the indication was no, but certain things have to fall into place. And he meant Phil Jackson returning. Scottie Pippen did not mention Dennis Rodman. Here's Kerr, rebounded by Schrempf.
Still the best player in the game and healthy.
Chicago by 11. They've led by as many as 19. Schrempf getting inside, and he was hit. So net left Schrempf to the line. Foul committed by Steve Kerr. That is his second, and net left to the line for the first time.
And I say that best player in the game. We're going by the first half of this season. Of course, all that Michael has done, you can never forget that. And that's with 2 young, great players coming along. Grant Hill, who's having a fabulous season for the Detroit Pistons. And probably if you had a half a season MVP, he would probably be very close between Grant Hill and Michael Jordan. Grant might, in fact, win it. And another young, great player on his way up. And certainly right there is Penny Hardaway.
And the Orlando Magic is certainly on the way back after all the injuries earlier in the season. Earlier today, they defeated Houston 103-90. And what a year it's been for Doug Collins, Grant Hill, and the Detroit Pistons. Second best record in the NBA for Detroit. Bulls lead 48-39. 20 seconds to go. First half. Shot clock at 6. Jordan to the drive. Well, we have seen a number of drives today by Michael Jordan, although for the most part he's done it with the outside touch. He has 26 points in all, and Payton turned it over. 4 9/10 seconds remaining.
And Michael has made Gary Payton work very hard, and that is the defensive player in the year. And I should say Payton has played some good defense against Michael, but no contest in this first half. Payton battling, trying to keep him out, but Michael just using his body, backing in and spinning, seeing the whole defense, if it was about to come, ready to dish that ball off.
Judd Bushler has come on for these final seconds. Kukoc racing down. Kukoc trying to hit Pippen. And the ball back to Seattle. That got away from Tony with 0.5 of a second to go in this first half. The Sonics able to get back into it after trailing by as many as 19 at the foul line, where they've hit 13 of 15. Perkins trying to get it to Schrempf. So that is the end of the first half. Michael Jordan with an extraordinary first half, 11 of 17 for 26 points. And the disappointment for Seattle, Shawn Kemp, 5 turnovers for Schrempf, 1 of 3 from the field, only 6 points. Stay tuned for Bob and the Prudential halftime report right after these words. Back in Seattle, a look at the Sonics coming back out of their locker room following a disappointing first half, trailing the Bulls 50 to 39. Sonics shot only 34%, 12 turnovers, 5 by Shawn Kemp, while Chicago shooting well, sparked by Michael Jordan. 26 of the Bulls' 50 points in that first half.
Well, even though Michael had the big first half, the problem for the Sonics is themselves. Their offense has been absolutely horrible, and they have to find a way to get Shawn Kemp involved.
All right, a look at some of the Miller Lite halftime statistics. Bulls shooting from 2-point range, 16 of 31, 3 of 6 from downtown, including that half-court three-pointer at the end of the first quarter by Jordan, and at the line, 9 of 11. Overall, better than 51%.
And there, Michael Jordan doing it from all over, as he has been posting up the smaller Gary Payton by a couple of inches, and you see that one long three. Those reds are the make, as Michael Jordan has really felt it with the jump shot this afternoon.
While the Sonics way off, 9 of 24 from 2-point range. Free throws have actually gotten them back into it. 15 of 17 overall, 13 of 15 from the line in the second quarter. And Gary Payton overall in his 21 minutes has hit 4 of 10 shots.
And Gary Payton has to look for his offense. He is the leading scorer in this team at 22 a game. But beside that, he has to find shots for Hersey Hawkins, for Detlef Schrempf, but most importantly, Shawn Kemp.
As both clubs warm up for the second half, let's check in with Ahmad and Sonics coach George Karl.
All right, thanks, Marv. George, down at 11 points at the half. What do you tell your team?
Well, I just think offensively, I think there are answers there, but we got to be more patient. I think we got to pass the ball better. Defensively, I thought in the second quarter we sparked up and did some good stuff. I think we were down 14 last year at this time, so I think we have the ability to fight back. I just think we got to make some answers offensively.
All right, good luck in the second half. Thanks, George. Back to you, Marv.
All right, thank you, Ahmad. Sonics winning here during the regular season last November, coming from behind right here. Chicago up by 11 as we head to the second half.
Michael Jordan doesn't always post up smaller guards or guards his same size. He usually gets a feel for the game before he may get into that. But he wanted to make sure in this one, right off the bat, going right at Gary Payton inside. And when he was cut off there, stepping outside out of the triangle offense. And Gary Payton trying to answer as much as he can with the perimeter shots, with the drive. But Gary Payton has to remember he's a point guard and has to deliver the ball. But the huge edge in scoring, but you would expect that on most occasions.
Michael Jordan with 26 points is high for the season and an NBA high this year, 51. He did that against the Knicks in Chicago. Third quarter underway, and Payton's got the start. So the Sonics have cut it to a 9-point lead.
Bulls already coming out with a switch defensively, starting with Tony Kukoc on Shawn Kemp instead of Longley, who has 3 personals.
Scottie Pippen quiet in the first half with Michael Jordan accounting for most of the offense. Pippen 6 from the field. Harper gets inside for his first field goal. And the Bulls now lead 52-41. McIlvain is back on the floor, picked up fouls early, played only 6 minutes in the first half. Jim McIlvain, the starting center free agent by way of the Bullets. Kemp for McIlvain. And Jim McIlvaine with his first field goal.
A nice play by Sean Kemp, who almost had Kukoc beat and then almost threw another bad pass. Kemp with 5 turnovers in the first half.
And Longley able to catch the Sonics on a switch. You saw Payton upset with his teammates. Gary Payton got caught. Had to pick him up. Bulls lead by 11. Hawkins now being guarded by Jordan. McIlvaine sets a pick. Took Jordan out of the play. Payton fires from the shot clock running down. That's a 3 for Payton.
You see the Sonics a little more aggressive to start this third quarter. I don't know if it was a legal pick, but it was a hard pick by McIlvaine to shake Jordan up a little bit.
Kukoc from 3. Sonics showing some signs, down by 8. They trailed by as many as 19. Chicago led 36-17 in the second quarter. Schrempf pitches back for Hawkins. Bulls had the slight edge off the boards in the first half, 17-16. That obviously where they missed Dennis Rodman. Here's Kukoc. It counts. Goaltending against Seattle. So the basket by Kukoc is good.
Jim McIlvaine does not get much involved offensively here, coming out to set the little sud and pick and roll situation and really stuck the thigh and knee into the side of Jordan. But you have to bang Michael as much as possible within the rules on picks, on baseline screens, and make him work at the defensive end.
Now Kemp getting good position, but facing a triple team and a 3-second violation. Turnover number 6 on Sean Kemp.
And after that pick, everybody kind of standing around defensively. And whenever you swing the ball, even against a good defensive team like Chicago, there's going to be some open shots. Gary Payton always ready to fire the 3.
Michael Jordan has not attempted a shot in this third quarter. Jordan for 3. Rebounded by McIlvaine. Hawkins and Payton in the backcourt. McIlvaine, Schrempf, and Kemp up front. Here's Payton moving on Jordan. Payton spinning and lost it. Hawkins able to recover. Payton for 3. Yes! And Gary Payton heating up here in the third quarter. He has 17 points in all. 8 have come in a hurry here in the third. And the Chicago lead is only 7. Foul call. Basket won't count. A push charge to Kemp. That is his third personal.
Gary Payton only shoots 32% from downtown, but always ready to take that shot. He knows he needs to make some perimeter shots to set up his ability to drive to the basket.
Coach. And Schrempf able to hustle it down. The Bulls 56, the Sonics 49. Payton with 8 of Seattle's 10 points here in the third. Now Payton guarded by Harper. Schrempf wide open. Hawkins on the back tap for Payton. And Payton shoots. Another 3 for Payton. That's his 4th downtown. The Sonics are within 4. Kukoc on the follow. Tony Kukoc with 8 points. The Bulls lead 58-52.
Last year in the finals, I always felt the Bulls' #1 priority was to take away the 3-point opportunities for Seattle. One of the reasons why they wanted to play single coverage on Kemp inside so they wouldn't have to double team and leave those open shots.
Payton again. He has lit it up for 13 of Seattle's 15 points in the third. Chicago's lead is down to 4. Luke Longley extends to a 6-point advantage.
Oh, I said at halftime, Peyton has to get his teammates involved. He's not really worried about that right now. He's trying to pick this team up all by himself, get this crowd involved, and he's doing it with the perimeter shot and doing it very well right now as the Bulls have to talk about it. Coming off the nice screen that time by McElvain, who's done a good job of freeing up shooters in this third quarter.
That last Chicago foul committed by Scottie Pippen. The Sonics are within 6. Beautiful day here in the Seattle area, and a beautiful third quarter for this man, Gary Payton. 5 of 5 from the field in the third. 13 of his 22 have come here in the third quarter.
And Ron Harper, who normally gets the assignment on tough point guards, has it here in the third quarter, and he looks very slow of foot at this point as Payton has been able to shake free, and of course the picks make things a lot easier as well.
And you see how he has turned things around in the second half after the 4 for 10, 9-point first half. He's also hit 4 of 6 from downtown. Bulls 60, Sonics 54, 6.5 remaining in the third. They love to get Shawn Kemp going. Gives it up to McElvain. Picked up on the switch by Shrimp. Now Jordan being guarded by Hawkins, and he's down low. Shot clock at 6. Jordan posting. Longley from Jordan. Offensive foul. A charge on Luke Longley. That is his 4th foul.
Well, this is what the Sonics hope when they got Jim McElvain, that he would be not only a shot blocker, but clog the lane. First of all, he thwarted Jordan from making his move, and then a nice recovery to take that bump from Longley.
Bill Weddington getting set to check in for Luke Longley. Payton on the fake, beat Hawkins. First miss of the third quarter by Payton, saved by Kemp, looking to get out of traffic. And they get the new possession.
And you can see how now Payton hot from the outside, drawing the defenders to him, opening up driving lane.
And Harper is called for the blocking foul. That is his 4th.
Hersey Hawkins trying to use the high screen and then the crossover dribble, and once again Ron Harper just not quick on his feet. Has certainly had his problems, knee surgery in the offseason, and he did a terrific job all last season defensively for the Bulls and much of this one.
Oh, Kemp with a strong drive but could not put it down. He's 1 of 4 from the field, not able to get it going. Jordan has attempted only 1 shot in this third quarter, following the 26-point first half. Kukoc lost it. And Payton pushes it down. Chicago's lead is down to 4. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Pippen is blocked by Payton. Pippen by McElvain.
First Payton on a terrific challenge, and then McElvain again.
Here's Hawkins, rejected by Weddington. Hawkins on the recovery. Wild shot thrown up.
In traffic, 5 Bulls back on defense. Just Shrimp and Hawkins getting caught up in the moment, trying to do too much.
Marv Albert with Matt Guokas and Ahmad Rashad from Key Arena in Seattle. First meeting of the season between the Bulls and the Sonics. Hawkins in the open floor. Hawkins all the way, and then throws back to Shrimp. Shrimp for 3. Kemp with the rebound. Kemp on the ball. It's a 2-point game. Phil Jackson wants to talk it over.
Shawn Kemp trying to get involved around the glass where he is so explosive, making a hard move in the lane there. takes a shot as he got poked in the eye. One reason why he was unable to finish on that particular play. Actually, it was after the play, and he took it from his own teammate, Jim McElvain. And then Gary Payton in the open floor as the Bulls fall asleep defensively. Nobody picking up strength. It's Scottie Pippen's man, but he was playing the ball. And then Shawn Kemp working and working around the glass, pushing people out of the way, finishing off the play.
Seattle in the midst of a run to bring it to a 2-point ball game. A reminder, check out the latest NBA news at NBC.com/sports. This week, download audio clips from some of the best NBA on NBC moments, plus the last installment of Bill Walton picking the greatest players of all time in the NBA. This week, Bill will break down the forwards, all at NBC.com/sports. Hersey Hawkins called for the foul. As you may have noticed, Skycam not operating again today, working out some of the technical bugs, I'm told. And we hope to bring it to you in short time. And the Seattle Sonics with some technical difficulties in the first half have turned things around here in the second. Michael Jordan with his first field goal of the third quarter. Only his second shot attempt. He now has 28. And the Bulls lead 62-58. 3.5 to go in the third. Payton alley-oops. Got a look from Shawn Kemp, who did not expect it, and the pass was off the mark. Here is Jordan. Yes.
You know, Marv, it was almost like Phil Jackson at halftime and said, yeah, Michael had a great first half, but we can't stand around and watch him score half our points. And for 8 minutes of the third quarter, trying to get other people involved, didn't really go very well. So now Michael is starting to pick it up again.
Bulls by 6. Randy Brown is back on the floor along with Jason Caffey. Perkins coming up short. And the outside official, Ron Olesiak, with the call. Foul is called.
Well, Michael coming out of that timeout, first drawing a foul on Hersey Hawkins the play before, this time just beating Hawkins to a spot, getting in the air and let fly with the jumper. Quick first step by Michael, fake screen by Caffey, as Michael has been smooth with a jump shot all afternoon.
Foul on Dickie Simpkins. Kemp being played by Simpkins. Eric Snow is back on the floor, played briefly and played well in the first half. Here's Perkins for 3. Rebounded by Jordan, hit from behind. That's number 4 on Kemp. 2:35 left in the third quarter. Let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Shawn Kemp suffered an elbow to the eye. That's why he left the court just a few minutes ago. If you can't see it, but his left eye is really red right now. He just went in and washed it out, but as you can see, he's fine and still playing. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Looked like he also took a poke in the back as he heads to the bench after picking up foul number 4. And Terry Cummings has replaced Shawn Kemp. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third. Jordan off the dribble. Yes. Well, Michael Jordan heating it up once again, as you mentioned, after the Bulls try to get other people involved. And the Bulls now lead 66-58. 32 points for Jordan. He scored Chicago's last 6. Cummings posting up.
After that jumper, Michael strutting backwards right in the face of George Karl. Didn't really look over, just a little strut.
Now Jordan putting behind the back and lost possession, able to recover and find Caffey.
Jumped in the air, faked the pass, able to hang long enough to find Jason Caffey for the layup.
So the Bulls have a 10-point lead. Sonics had cut it to 2. Hawkins for 3. Yes. Very quiet day for Hawkins. That is only his second field goal. He has hit 6 of 6 at the line. 11 points in all. Bulls by 7 as we come up on 1 minute to go, third quarter. Scottie Pippen has been quiet, as has Tony Kukoc. Rejected. Comes back to Jordan. Cummings rebound. Snow able to move down. Setting up Hawkins for three. And a loose ball foul against Cummings.
Well, George Karl had made the comments that Michael Jordan may be becoming too much of a jump shooter. Well, here's a jump shot on a little hesitation move over Hersey Hawkins, and just a little look over towards the bench and backing up, just saying, there's your jump shot. And then in trouble here as he actually bounces the ball off the heel of his foot, knows he's in trouble, faked actually a pass out to the wing, but able to find Caffey.
Steve Kerr has a check back in, replacing Michael Jordan, who departs with 32 points. Here's Brown. Down to 25 seconds to go in the third. Sonics with the ball, trailing 68-61, down to 15 seconds. See the differential with the shot clock. Snow with a runner, blocked, and a foul. It's on Brown.
Oh, and the Chicago bench furious. I don't know if it's Randy Brown or the official, but Eric Snow in all kinds of trouble. Puts the ball on the floor, throws up a very awkward running shot, and bailed out on the play by the foul on Randy Brown. That is not a good defensive play.
Eric Snow out of Michigan State, number 2 on the all-time assist list at Michigan State, behind Scott Skiles, one-time point guard under Matt Gukas with the Orlando Magic.
And I understand Scott is now coaching over in Greece. He was playing there, had a shoulder injury, unable to play, and I think in the meantime, the coach got fired, and they named Scott Skiles the coach. He wants to coach in the NBA.
Greatly affected by your coaching style. And, and a loose ball foul against the Sonics. With just 7 4/10 seconds remaining in the quarter, it's on Cummings. And they are over the limit. Well, Terry Cummings upset. He's played 7 minutes and has picked up 3 fouls. 0 for 3 from the field.
And he's obviously not happy with the call by the veteran official, Hugh Evans, but Dickie Simpkins just 5 for 12 from the line coming into this game. Look on the bottom left of your screen there as Cummings coming over the back of Simpkins with the elbow. Good call by referee Hugh Evans, but it's not bad to foul Dickie Simpkins, despite the fact he made the first one. Now it was not a good foul.
Yes, good. I go into the base, Matt. Very, very well done. Sonics got down in a hurry, but they're not able to hit the three-point shot. Aside from Gary Payton, they've been off. So after 3 here in Seattle, the Bulls with a 70-62 lead, 14 of 22 for Jordan for 32. Payton heating it up in the third. He's 9 of 16 for 22 points. Chicago by 8. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. You are watching the NBA on NBC. Welcome back to Seattle. Capacity crowd, better than 17,000 here at the Key Arena. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad. The Bulls lead 70-62 as we head to the fourth quarter. Chicago is led by as many as 19. They had that lead in the first half. Good run by the Sonics early in the third, led by Gary Payton, who is sitting it out here at the start of the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan began in low-key fashion and then began to shoot the ball. That's when the Bulls picked it up. And they lead by 8 as this fourth quarter gets underway. Jordan and Kerr now to the backcourt. Here's Pippen. Pippen with Caffey and Simpkins up front. Scottie Pippen only 2 of 11.
You mentioned before, just not really in his normal game. Normally when Scottie doesn't score, he does other things. Rebound, pass the ball. He just seems to be out of it in this one. Coming off a great game on Friday night against Golden State, scoring 32.
Greg Elo eluding Scottie Pippen. Nice play by Jordan, able to tip it to Caffey.
And pushed his own guy, Dickie Simpkins, right out of the way.
And a foul on Wingate.
And Michael will always get involved in other areas of the game. Just had free reign to the basket there, but went right over Terry Cummings and Dickie Simpkins to control that rebound.
Now Tony Kukoc replaces Scottie Pippen. The 2 of 11 by Pippen, reminiscent of the game 2 weeks ago against the Houston Rockets when he went 2 of 14. Kukoc lost the handle, recovered by Simpkins, and he's tied up.
Now, Phil was looking and talking to Scottie Pippen as he came to the bench, both of them laughing, probably asking him where he left his game.
Oh!
Somewhere in San Jose.
A little coaching humor here, Matt.
Oh, trying to loosen him up, get him ready for crunch time.
1 minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Chicago Bulls with the best record in the NBA at 40-5. They've won 6 straight, 15 of the last 16. And the foul on Cummings. That's number 4 on Terry Cummings.
Well, it's so hard to double team the Chicago Bulls. That time Michael Jordan in the post, and the Sonics come quick here as Terry Cummings very quickly before Michael can get anything going. But because of the triangle offense and the ball movement and the player movement, hard to double team, but of course you can do it in the post.
Simpkins at the high post. Jordan eluding Elam and hitting. So that is 34 for Jordan. 15 of 23 from the field. 10-point Chicago lead.
Michael and Craig Elo, look at Michael's eyes, looking at him as they're both having a little chuckle right now. As Michael may have said something after he made that jump shot to Craig Elo, as if to say, Craig, I remember you. Cleveland, right? 69 points.
Foul was called on Jordan.
A little taunt.
Jordan, his first. That left Shrep. Craig Elo. Eric Snow. Sean Kemp, who's back. Terry Cummings. Sonics not getting anything offensively from Cummings. Sonics getting very little from their front line, in fact. Shot clock at 6. Jordan. And Caffey on the offensive rebound. And threw it away. Snow able to pick it off. Snow going behind the back. Snow on the drive through the foul. And the crowd applauds the effort of Eric Snow. Timeout is taken with 9:26 left, fourth quarter. Today's Miller Moment features one-time Sonic player and coach Lenny Wilkens at 6'1". Wilkens relied on his speed and court savvy to carve out an outstanding 15-year NBA career, averaging over 16 points and 6 assists per game. Wilkens was elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1988. Twice in his career, he was appointed a player coach, a prelude to an illustrious coaching career, which has seen him become the winningest coach in the history of the NBA. There's Lenny Wilkens' number hanging from the rafters here at Key Arena. In recognition of this classic moment, Miller Beer will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
Well, Marv, with Lenny Wilkens, you mentioned speed. Yes, he was fast, but he had unbelievable basketball quickness and speed. And that left hand on the right side of the floor, and of course they always said, do not let Lenny go to his left. Force him to his right. No matter how many times you try to force him to his right, he still beats you going to his left.
A Matt Gucas scouting report on Lenny Wilkens, 25 years too late. The Bulls by 8. 9:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Oh, Shrep just got picked off. A hard screen by Caffey. Jordan wide open. Yes. 36 for Jordan. his season high 51. And that a season high in the NBA. Jordan also had a 50-point game at Miami. Sean Kemp with only his third field goal and brings the Sonics with an 8.
That's the type of play that Sean Kemp and Gary Payton normally hook up on, but a beautiful pass that time by Snow.
Oh, Michael Jordan heating it up, and then a look, a glance over at George Karl on the Sonics bench. 10-point Chicago lead. 38 for Jordan. Elo. Jordan did not go for the fake, but a foul call.
Well, these are the kinds of plays that Sean Kemp gets motivated by. Nice roll to the basket, loves to play above the rim, and when the pass is that perfect, nothing else to do but finish off the play. A little two-man game, they call that the pinch post out of the triangle. A little handoff, and Michael knew that was going as soon as he left his hand, and the little glance to George Karl.
Scottie Pippen is back on the floor after a brief rest. Bulls have led most of the way, leading by as many as 19. Oh, bad pass by Shrek. A soft pass out, picked off. Here's Caffey with a smart drive, fouled by Shrek. So Caffey to the line for the first time. Well, the breakdown defensively against Michael Jordan. Gary Payton has played him sporadically. 6 of 10 against Payton for 13. Hersey Hawkins giving up 5 of 8 for 13. We've seen Craig Elo for the most part against Jordan here in the second half.
Normally you can live with Michael Jordan making a lot of perimeter jump shots. What you don't like to do is put him on the foul line and give him openings to the basket. And he got a lot of little hook moves, little spin moves in the post in the first half, which got his confidence going, and the jumper was very sweet all afternoon.
Both teams have done an excellent job at the free throw line. Here's Snow setting Kemp. Shrek. Yes. 12 points for Detlef Schrempf. The Bulls 78, the Sonics 68.
Well, the Sonics, although things have not gone their way today, only down 10, have to make this statement defensively.
Through the foul. Michael has gone to the line only 4 times, 3 of 4 at the foul line.
Nice overplay by Gary Payton, but a great offensive player. Doesn't stop when he's overplayed, just goes back door. The lane is wide open because of the nature of the offense, and good movement without the ball, and good basketball movement around the floor will get you scoring opportunities like that.
Foul on Eric Snow, putting Michael Jordan at the line. So 39 for Jordan, who leads the NBA at 30.4 per game. And 40 points representing the most points scored against Seattle by an individual this season. Bulls now lead 80-68. Gary Payton able to get inside. 10-point Chicago lead.
Those are the kinds of plays Payton gets when Nate McMillan is playing. Beautiful pass once again by Eric Snow, doing a nice job at the point right now while Payton is off the ball.
Here's Kerr for 3. Well, Steve Kerr with his second from downtown. Steve Kerr, one of the outstanding three-point shooters of all time. Over his career at 48%, which is #1 in NBA history. The Bulls by 13. 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter. That was a 3-point attempt. Kerr to the rebound.
And he can rebound in traffic with the big guys.
Kukoc. And Jordan able to snatch it. Now Jordan, made by Payton, posting up. Michael Jordan with 42 points. George Karl calls for time. 6:07 remaining in the fourth.
Well, so many times this afternoon, Michael Jordan has gotten the ball with the shot clock winding down. Not dangerously low, but about 8 seconds. Here he is on the post, and Seattle, who normally loves to double team inside, has been unable to find Michael Jordan in those post plays to double team him enough to get rid of the ball. And when you score that many points, all over the place for Michael, but most of them on the post-up area at about 17 feet on either side, able to take the jumper over the smaller Payton or spin to the basket for the drive.
And 42 points, his 7th 40-plus game of the season. As high, as we mentioned earlier, 51. And you know he's shooting for that. Shot clock down to 7 with 5:49 remaining in this fourth quarter. Not a happy afternoon for George Karl. Again, disappointment. His Sonic has a steal by Kerr. Sonics just did not respond to the challenge, particularly in the first half, although they have been in it. By Payton. They came back in the third, came within 2. Jordan for the 3. Yes. 45 for Jordan. And the Bulls lead 88-70. Kemp getting it out to Perkins. And a hacking foul on Kukoc. 3 free throws coming up for Sam Perkins.
Well, Hersey Hawkins said that on talent, we're about even with the Bulls. They are just mentally tougher than we are. And they also do not have Michael Jordan. The Chicago Bulls do. As Michael really putting on an unbelievable offensive performance. Michael
Jordan, 51 against the Knicks. That high for the NBA. Had the 50 against Miami. And Hakeem with 48. Latrell Sprewell had a 46-point game. Michael enjoying the moments with the coaching staff. Jackson and Rogers, six winner, Frank Handler.
Well, Michael might be going over to ask Phil to come out, and I doubt it. No. Probably asking, what do you want to run? The same play where I get the ball, shoot, and score?
Bulls lead 88-73. All the talk here in Seattle coming into today's game revolved around the fact that, yes, the Sonics are 32-13, but they have not been able to show that the top teams, particularly the best in the West. They lost twice to the Lakers, twice to the Rockets, twice to the Jazz, lost to the Lakers here at home last Sunday, and they wanted to come through with a big showing this afternoon, but they have not. Kemp putting moves on, and then tips it home. Bulls lead 88-75. 4.5 remaining in the fourth. Again, Jordan in the post-up mode, guarded by Payton. And Payton able to break it up.
There's that 8-second shot clock again when Michael finally gets around to catching the basketball. It is really nice to have your offense end up in that situation whenever you are in trouble, to either go to a Scottie Pippen when he's on top of his game, or to go to Michael Jordan when he is playing like this, or even when he's not playing like this, he's still going to turn up something for you, either a good shot, a good play for somebody else.
And Luke Longley checks back in, replacing Jason Caffey. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Caffey. Here's Pippen for 3. And a loose ball foul. It is on Kukoc. So the Bulls are over the foul limit. Will Jackson last year finally winning Coach of the Year honors, long overdue, working on a a one-year contract, so there will be much speculation once again as to his coaching future as the season winds down.
And Phil and his staff, Tex Winter on his left, Jimmy Rogers to his right, a little further down, Frank Hamblin coming over from the Milwaukee Bucks. They look a little bit nervous. I don't think they're out of the woods yet. At 4:11 to go in the fourth quarter, up by 13. They know with three-point shooters, the way Peyton had shot it earlier in the second half, Hersey Hawkins, Detlef Schrempf, he cut a 13-point lead down very, very quickly.
Bulls 88 and the Sonics 76. The pressure by Schrempf. Not see Perkins open. Now Perkins putting the move on Kukoc. Sonics have not only been off, but they have been way off with a number of their shots. And the Bulls will get it back.
Bad play by Gary Payton. Marty mentioned he may not have seen Perkins. I think he saw him, but he didn't do a good job of setting him up for a three-point shot by driving, drawing defender, and kick. He just wanted to hit him for a three, and it wasn't there right away, and didn't give him the ball.
Travel call. So a sloppy finish at both ends with 3:29 remaining in the fourth quarter. George Karl in a running conversation with Gary Payton.
It's still too early to have a feeding frenzy of three-point shots. You have to take it if it's there, but you also have to be aggressive in taking the ball to the basket to create something.
Kemp. Checking the clock. Payton for three. Schrempf able to recover. Here's Kemp. Kemp on the follow is fouled. One of those days for Shawn Kemp. He's had the opportunities in the second half, has not been able to cash in. Well, next Sunday we'll be at the Gund Arena in Cleveland to bring you the NBA All-Star Game in prime time right here on NBC starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 on the West Coast. The NBA All-Star Game next Sunday from Cleveland here on NBC.
And to wind down the first half of the regular season, big one coming up, the Rockets and Knicks on TNT on Tuesday night. And then look at this doubleheader. Utah Jazz and the Sonics in the first one, followed by the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers in a rematch of what was an unbelievable game earlier in the year as the Bulls came back on the strength of Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, and of course Michael Jordan.
Bulls continuing the Western swing in Portland on Tuesday, and then they have that game Wednesday at the Lakers, while Seattle home for Utah on Wednesday, leading to the All-Star break. 10-point lead for Chicago, just under 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Michael Jordan has not seen the ball recently. He has 45 points. Peyton's done a good job keeping the ball out of Jordan's hands the last couple of minutes. Longley from Kukoc. Shot clock at 5. Now Pippen has to force it. That with the shot clock running down. Important possession here for the Sonics. Down by 10. 2:25 to go in the fourth. And another foul. So the Sonics spending much time at the line. Foul committed by Pippen.
Right before that last timeout, what a weapon. Michael Jordan, not only with his ability as far as scoring, passing, rebounding, and defending, but doing the coach's job, making sure that everybody's on the same page to finish this game strong. He feels things coming undone. Also let Scottie Pippen know about it. Felt that play right before where Scottie walked with the ball, as Scottie has struggled all afternoon. 2 for 14 from the field, but certainly picked up by Michael Jordan's 19 for 28 and 45 points.
That breakdown very similar to the Bulls beating the Knicks by 1 in Chicago when Jordan scored 51 of the 88 Chicago points. 8-point Bulls lead. Down to 2 minutes left in the fourth. 10-0 run by Seattle. And for the most part, they've done it at the foul line. Shot clock at 1. Scottie Pippen is now 2 of 14. Shrimp. That was an enormous miss. Wow. Would have cut it to a 5-point game.
Phil Jackson's heart is now back out of his throat.
And Kukoc firing a prayer and comes up hobbling. 3-on-2 and a charge on Payton. Offensive foul on Gary Payton.
And Tony Kukoc driving in the lane there, colliding with Gary Payton, gets shaken up on the play. But will stay in. A terrific defensive play by Steve Kerr, getting back on defense, planting himself in the lane, and taking that hard hit for Gary Payton.
A minute 12 remaining in the fourth quarter. Pushing foul on Kemp. That is number 5. Sonics over the foul limit. And Scottie Pippen to the line where he is 2 of 2.
Well, Sean Kemp, even though he has 5 now, you couldn't really say he was in foul trouble all afternoon. But in their 13 losses for Seattle, Sean Kemp has fouled out of 5 of those games, and in 3 others had 5 fouls. So that's always a big factor for Seattle in close games, and he has to be on the floor at crunch time because of all the things that he can do for you. But he has certainly had an off day.
Well, Pippen hits 1 of 2. Bulls lead by 9. And a timeout taken by George Karl. 1:12 left in the fourth. We'll be back in Seattle in a moment.
This is one of many missed opportunities for the Sonics coming down the stretch. Shrimp on the fast break, over to Payton, looking for contact and a possible 3-point play. But Steve Kerr coming up huge for Chicago defensively in transition, planting himself in the lane and taking that charge.
9-point Chicago lead, 1:12 remaining in the fourth. Both clubs have 2 full timeouts and they're 20. Perkins setting it up for Kemp. 7-point lead, 1:07 remaining. Sonics the last few moments have done a very good job keeping the ball out of the hands of Michael Jordan. He has 45 points, but Payton has been fronting him. Jordan not able to get to the basketball. Shot clock down to 6. Now Jordan takes it and fires it out to Kerr. 3-pointer, only on the uncontested tip ball. Payton for Shrimp. Firing one up. He passed on the 3, went to the drive, thought he had drawn the foul, and that will wrap it.
Totally out of control.
Coming up on 20 seconds remaining. Longley deciding not to shoot, even though he was wide open. Now Kerr with the shot clock running down, extends to a 91-82 lead. And we're down to 10 seconds. Here's Payton. And Kemp for 3. So the story here today, disappointing games for the Seattle front line. Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf. Gary Payton had that good run in the third quarter. The 3-point shooting was very poor. 6 of 21 for Seattle. And the Bulls have defeated the Sonics in their first regular season meeting by the count of 91-82. Chicago goes to 41-5. That their record a year ago. Same record as last season. 7 straight wins, 16 of the last 17 in the win column for the Bulls, who were led by Michael Jordan, who had another extraordinary ball game with 45 points. And apparently the game is not officially over. We see 2/10 of a second has been placed back on the. And there was a foul on that last drive as Schrempf took it to the hoop. So only 2/10 of a second remaining. Michael Jordan, the only Chicago Bull in double figures. Scottie Pippen went 2 of 14. Only 7 points, 8 apiece for Kukoc and Kerr. As Michael Jordan goes 40+ for the 7th time this season. So 0.2 of a second left. And now it is 91-84, and that will be the final. So the Sonics now at 32-14. Let's go to Ahmad with Michael Jordan. Ahmad?
All right, Michael. Now, the statements by George Karl saying that you're playing, trying not to be hurt, was that motivation for you today?
Well, I mean, every time I step on the court, I got a sense of motivation. Playing the Sonics, you know, we faced them in the finals, you know, and they gave us a good run for our money. We know they're going to be contenders this year. You know, I think Karl, what he's saying is, you know, more or less trying to get me to go to the hole. I'm going to shoot my jump shot. Defense will give me the jump shot. I'm going to take it. If they want to let me go to the hole, open up the lane, I go to the hole. But they're not giving me the lanes to go to the hole, and I'm going to play my game. I'm not really going to let coaches dictate how I play the game.
Now, you told me that this was one of the most important games on this West Coast swing. Why was this one so important?
Well, I mean, we're coming in playing against a team that's, you know, pretty much the best team in the West right now at this stage. I mean, no one else has beat them. They're the Western Conference champions, so they are the Western Conference champions until someone beat them. We were without Dennis, so it was a measuring stick for us to come in and compete hard and give ourselves a barometer in terms of when we get Dennis back, we're a better basketball club. We feel a little bit more confident. We win a game on their court. That gives us even more confidence. I think that's just, it was a great win for us today.
All right, congratulations on a great game. I'll see you at the All-Star game. All right, back to you, Marv.
Thank you, Ahmad. Yes, Michael Jordan was presented with the jump shot opportunities, and he did take advantage. 19 of 28 overall, 40.